What's up? So I've had a lot of requests from people asking me to check out the Company of Heroes 2 open beta. So that's exactly what I'm doing in this video. I'm just playing the open beta in skirmish mode, annihilation skirmish mode to be precise. I'm not a fan of victory point control, whatever it is they call it. So I've set the option to annihilation, high resources to begin with, and I'm going to take on the AI, just an easy AI opponent. And this is the first time I've played Company of Heroes 2, literally, so I'm going to be very rusty, to say the least. So don't expect much skill from me. Don't expect this to be some sort of, hey, look at how good I am at Company of Heroes 2 style video. This is just my impressions. So the first thing I want to sort of say is I do get lots of requests from people asking me to play Company of Heroes and do Company of Heroes videos. I used to play Company of Heroes a lot before I discovered Men of War. But for me, Men of War is a far superior RTS game because the emphasis is more on realism, particularly when you have the War Realism mod installed and you're playing in the editor setting up battles, which is how I do it. I don't really play Men of War actually, I just use the editor, as you all know, mostly. So Company of Heroes used to be a game I played a lot of, but not in recent years. So Company of Heroes 2, I was intrigued to see what it was like, but I was expecting it to be much the same. So this is going to be interesting for me. So let's see. So I'm just firing up this map, and I think these are all the settings I need. I've set the CPU for easy, and I've maxed out the graphics, by the way. So for all I know, I'm going to get a really shoddy frame rate. I shouldn't do though, because I've got a really good rig. I've got 16 gig DDR3 RAM, a GTX 670, and an overclocked i7. So I should do absolutely fine, and I get angry if I can't max out games. That's just how I am. So this is maxed out, and I'm recording in fraps. So frame rate's fine, nice and smooth. I'm getting about 45 FPS right now, so that's good. So Company of Heroes, how do you play this game? I've completely forgot. So I'm going to try and deploy it, and I'm not using a trainer or anything, by the way, because I know in my last Company of Heroes 1 vid I was cheating just for cinematic effects, but I'm not doing that here. I'm just playing the game. There probably aren't any trainers out for this anyway. So yeah, what do you do? I don't know. I'm going to start building stuff. So there's only two factions in this. I was a bit surprised by that. You only got the Soviets and the Germans. No allied, no sort of US or British forces. I guess that will come no doubt it will come in an expansion pack. But to me, that just feels like they've already touched on that ground with the original game. So I'm not that impressed by that, frankly. I'm just going to change some options here. What am I doing? I thought, no, I was trying to find the Fog of War option. Of course, you can't turn off Fog of War in this because it's a true annihilation style RTS game, not unlike Men of War. So I'm going to build some shit, deploy some resources. I don't expect to win this, by the way. I'm just going to be playing around with the units and getting a feel for the game, essentially. So don't expect skill from me, like I say. So here we go. So I guess I'm going to have to start grabbing some points and these resource nodes. I need to grab those, and I need to deploy some units. So I'm going to try and deploy a vehicle here, a light armoured car, light scout car, the M5A1 I think that was. Get that deployed, move out, start grabbing some positions. First thing I'm thinking, seeing this, is it may just be my imagination, but this just looks like Company of Heroes 1. I don't really see a great deal of difference on the graphics front. I guess it's one of those situations where if I now return to Company of Heroes 1 I may be shocked at the graphics, but I don't think I would be. I think they're pretty much the same graphics, aren't they? I think they've perhaps improved some of it, the animation when you get up close and all that stuff maybe. It's not that significant though. So I'm rolling out here, grabbing some capture points. It all looks it doesn't look as, I'm trying to think of the words. It looks more polished than Men of War, but not necessarily in a good way, not in a bad way, just in an artistic way. It just looks more arcadey and more. It's not it's the colour, the saturation, the colour saturation. It just, to me, it's just what I like about Men of War is it's got that gritty feel to it. It feels like authentic World War II combat sometimes when you're playing. This just seems like a bit of a jokey style scenario, and that's kind of why I moved on from Company of Heroes, really, because I got the voice acting in that annoyed me. I didn't like the way that everyone speaks in English accents with weird sort of attempts at trying to like convey Russians and Soviets with their accents and that kind of thing. It wasn't for me, particularly if you play Men of War and you actually speak in their languages. Well, kind of, anyway. So I've run into a German squad. So this is, yeah, I mean, this is always, you know, it's just the kind of thing you see in RTS games. So the enemy is just running at you. They've got no sense of self-preservation whatsoever. So I mean, I know this is how it is in RTS games, but in Men of War, again, what I like about Men of War is the AI react in a way which is quite realistic. Like they will sometimes just run for cover or retreat, all that kind of thing. I mean, you get a bit of that in Company of Heroes, but it's just it's arcadey. It's not aiming at realism, this game. So we've grabbed. Well, I've managed to defend that position, so I can recapture that control node now. And I'm going to try and move up on this right flank, try and capture some points up there. I'm not sure how you repair vehicles. I'm not going to really bother. I'm sure it's possible, but I'm going to try and get some tanks on the field. That would be ideal, but I don't know what I need to build to do it. I can set my Doctrine up. I remember that from Company of Heroes 1. I can decide on what Doctrine to use. I need some more command points to do that though. I've only got one. Well, I don't even have one at the moment. Oh no, I do have one. I've got one and almost two. So I've deployed some more infantry here, and I'm going to try and build some more base buildings. See, the other thing about Company of Heroes I don't like is the size of the HUD. It's so huge. Look at that HUD. I mean, normally in Men of War I edit out the HUD elements when I do my vids anyway, but to do that in Company of Heroes would mean that you're pretty much losing all of the screen real estate because it's all a HUD. Almost, you know, it's 1/3 a HUD, which is terrible. I just think that looks hideous. I think they need to make that transparent. They need to have dynamic sections that appear and then disappear based on if they're needed or not, that kind of thing. So that alone for me is almost a deal breaker. Actually, I must say the HUD is just too big. Look at that map. Why do you need the map there all the time? In Men of War, you just press M to bring up the map, and then you press it again to let it go. It's just small things like that. Anyway, so I'm getting flamed to shit here. My squads are gallantly holding this capture point, but I don't think they're going to last for long. I need to move them out into cover, really. I think they're mostly dead now, so I'm going to... Okay, I've got an MG42 opening up on me. Let's take a look at that MG42 firing animation and the sound effects. The game's got great sound effects. I mean, that is something that really is a strong point. Nice, loud, bass-heavy, cinematic sound effects. But they're no better than Men of War. They're just different. I wouldn't say they're better or superior. They're just they sound authentic. They sound cinematic. I don't know if they're realistic or not. I know the MG42's got a very distinct sound to it. So I'm rolling forward my infantry now. I'm just trying to capture more points. I expect to get swarmed eventually and killed off by the AI. You never know though, they are on easy mode, but I'm not playing this aggressively enough at the moment. I tried to turret farm in RTS games and it never really works in Company of Heroes. So I've got this squad here engaging these retreating Germans. An NG42 position, they're going to run into that and get killed by the looks of it. Yep. I'm not surprised that happens. They ran into an MG. So I need to deploy some machine gun crews and mortar crews. I need to kind of get my motion in, get my wheels in motion, as they say. So I've got another engineer squad here. I think I need to start trying to deploy another building. I should have done this ages ago. So what's this? This looks like the one I need to build specialist infantry resources like mortar crews and all that stuff. It doesn't take long to suss this game, really. You just understand what buildings support what infantry units and all that stuff. So I'm going to use this trench as cover and flush out the Germans and retake this capture zone control node thing. So that I'm holding my ground here, but only just. Oh, okay, trouble. So we've got some German armoured cars that are turning up now. Not sure what that is. Puma? I'm not sure. So that's rolling in. Taking out my light armoured car. Oh, we got trouble here. So this is attacking my base. My perimeter bunkers are opening up on it. So I'm going to deploy this field cannon. I'm going to use a field cannon. That's probably going to be quite an effective weapon against German armour. I don't know what that is. I haven't got enough. Oh, I have. I'm going to build that. No, I'm not. This is where my lack of knowledge starts to reveal itself. So I've got lots of resource points now, at least. Well, not lots, but enough to start doing some shit. So what have we got here? I'm going to look at these doctrines now. So I've selected one. Just selected one at random, really. Just so I get some shock troops. And I also get the ability to do a call in an artillery strike. That may be quite effective for me. So I've selected my doctrine. Rolled out some artillery, got a new armoured car on the field, got a mortar crew, got an MG crew. So I'm in the fight still, but only just. So I need to, what do I need to do? I need to capture that resource point on the right flank. The Germans are holding that right now. And then this is how I play RTS games. I know it's not the way you're meant to play Company of Heroes. You're meant to just launch lots of sweeping strikes behind enemy lines, grabbing nodes, flurrying them, causing lots of confusion. I can't do that. I have to turret farm and I have to consolidate my force and move out slowly. And that's why I will never be a Company of Heroes player, because I will just suck. And that's why I'm not a very good RTS player. I just play the editor in Men of War, build my own armies up. That's how I like to roll. So I'm using the artillery now. I think this artillery's got some sort of special attack. I'm going to use that, some sort of barrage. I'm going to try that out. Company of Heroes has got some great explosion effects. I remember that from the original. That's awesome, look at that. Artillery really has a real oomph to it in Company of Heroes, more so than Men of War. That is a feature I really do like, and I like the way that you can call in barrages without having to create lots of fields of cannons and then do the barrage manually. So that's proven quite an effective unit, that artillery. I've called in some shock troops as well here, see how effective they are. I'm going to try and use this wall as cover. And that German squad is on the retreat. They were pinned down and they're retreating back to base. How are we doing up here? So the Germans are flanking me on the left. It's a half track by the looks of it, rolling in. Flamethrower half track. That could be a bit of a threat. More infantry, engineers. I'm going to build something there. I'm obviously missing something here. I still haven't sussed how I build heavy tanks. Probably haven't got enough resources to do it actually. But it's probably nothing that hard to suss, but I just haven't quite worked it out yet. Kind of need a T-34 or something on the field now really, but I haven't managed to work it out. So this is the Russian MG squad. More German armoured cars rolling in, getting real close to my line. Oh dear, not good. That's a bit of a graphical glitch there. There's some sort of line. I don't know if that's actually a graphical glitch. I think that's just... Oh no, that's the map boundary, isn't it? Yeah, I remember that now. So I'm going to use the artillery, turning the artillery in on my own base. That's how retarded I am at the Company of Heroes. I'm going to destroy my own buildings by the looks of it. I've taken out their half track though. More artillery on the field. Hopefully there's no friendly fire in this. So you'll see some messages up there from a Steam pal of mine, Rob Z. Rob Z, if you're watching, sorry dude. I offered to play this with him, but I didn't have much time. I had to kind of get the video out there really quickly, and he was AFK. Another time perhaps, Rob. So what am I doing? I've captured this zone. So I'm going to just end this video really by just doing a bit of a crazy attack on the German base. I'm in no position whatsoever to attack the German base. Look, I've barely captured my own third of the map, let alone entered into the enemy territory. But to hell with it, I'm just going to launch a mad attack at the German position. Hopefully the AI will be caught off guard and I'll be able to breach the base and call in some artillery, because I've got the artillery doctrine now. I can drop down some barrage on the enemy base. I don't expect to win, but it's one way to play, at least. I don't even know where the German base is. Oh yeah, here we go. So I need line of sight to call in the artillery, hence why I'm rolling in this vehicle. So bunkers, I should be able to get through those. Where are the buildings? It's all empty. That doesn't make any sense. There should be German buildings here somewhere. Oh, here we go. They're on this side. So, oh, what am I doing? Shit. So I accidentally called in the artillery there on the corner of the area. That was pretty stupid. So that's a complete waste of an artillery barrage there. Look at that. Just, what's that aimed at? Nothing. So I now need to wait for that to recharge, and hopefully I can just about manage to get a strike in on these buildings. Just a bit of a fun last minute attack really. I doubt it will even destroy them. Well, it didn't seem to be that powerful, that strike actually. It's like some sort of incendiary artillery barrage. So my squad's pinned by the German MG bunker. If I can get some more shock troops in, that'll be good. Here we go. I call that in. Oh no, I haven't got enough resource points to call in more artillery yet. They're pins, but they seem to be in some sort of cover. Nope, they're not in cover, they're dead. So anyway, I'm just trying to survive long enough to call in the artillery again, which requires 20 more resource points, I think, by the looks of it. 30 odd perhaps. So I just need to wait, hopefully survive long enough in this vehicle. So I'm calling in more units. It's like a rallying call, pretty much. I've just selected loads of my units and asked them to attack the position, so they should all be moving forward. Looks like they are, judging by the map. So this car's surviving. He's got barely any health left though. I've almost got enough points to call in this artillery strike. That's really my objective. I just want to get him. I just want to survive long enough to call that in. And I'm distracting the Germans at least. All the time I'm attacking their base, they're not attacking mine. That's one way of looking at it. But I know I'm not going to win though. I'm not being overly optimistic. Oh shit, okay. Well, that was bound to happen. Oh dear, looks like they called in quite a heavy tank there as well. What was that? It looked like a Stug. So the Germans have called in a Stug. Strange looking Stug that. I'm not sure if that's an early war Stug, I don't know. So, is that a Stug? I don't know. They look slightly different in this game. So anyway, I'm pretty much just sacrificing all my units here. They've got no chance at all. But the point is that I have line of sight, and that's all I care about. So I've called in the artillery there, as you can just see. Didn't really do a great deal though. That was good though. I'm glad I managed to pull it off. I called in an incendiary strike on their base. But no, it barely did any damage. Probably because it's anti-infantry. It probably has no effect on buildings. So it was all a bit of a waste of time really. But I'm just experimenting. Well, they've breached. They managed to get right up to the buildings at least. That's something. If I was really concentrating, I think I could still win this battle. My base is pretty intact still. I could probably start venturing out and capturing some resource nodes around the edges of the map. Could probably win this, but it's going to take too long, and I'm not really doing this video to show you a full battle. I'm just giving my impressions of the game. So I think, in summary, I like the look of this game. It looks quite fun, but I wouldn't be buying it. It's not really for me. It's a conventional RTS. Seems very much like Company of Heroes 1. To me, it almost seems like a replica of the same game. It doesn't feel like it's any different at all, actually. But that's just me. Maybe I'm missing various features. It's fun, so check it out. The open beta is open for another week, I think.